If the idea of following leads, tracking reports, and questioning facts to uncover a story excites you, listen in. We've caught up with the BBC's John Sweeney, award-winning investigative journalist, to tell us what he's learnt from more than 30 years in the business.
I go to places like North Korea, I've doorstepped Vladimir Putin, and I annoy powerful people who perhaps have wronged ordinary people. The best thing I've ever done is I helped free Sally Clark, Angela Cannings, Donna Anthony, and 4 other people who've been falsely accused of killing their babies or other people's babies. Sally Clark in particular was accused by Professor Sir Roy Meadow of faking a cot death. Her children, she'd killed them in some way, and there was no truth in this. And I exposed Meadows' methodology. He said that there were chances of this happening were 73 million to 1. That statistic was entirely wrong. And so that's something where you just use simple facts and say, no, that evidence is wrong. You challenge it. I went to a statistician, a professor of statistics at Oxford, and he said, no, that's wrong. That's just rubbish. He was Australian. He said, it's just plain wrong. I'm not here to do bad accents, but I do them. Anyway, that's the most important thing. The idea that something you can do can help free somebody who's been falsely imprisoned. That was a wonderful feeling, a great day. What you're looking for is some anomaly. This organisation says X, and then you look at it and you say, hold on a second, that's not true. Or there are other people over here saying, no, that's not true, but can you say no? Can you say more? No, we can't, because we're afraid to. So with the Church of Scientology, we had a look at them in 2007. It's much easier to poke them with a stick these days, but back then they were very, very frightening, and they pursued me. So you're looking for an anomaly. By the way, the church say that I'm psychotic, a bigot and a liar, so let's not forget there's another side of the story, and one should always try and be fair by people and say what they want to say and ask them questions. Sometimes it's difficult because actually they just want you to shut you up, and therefore you get lots of legal letters. So part of it is learning something about law, something about anomalies. Does this sound right? Does this make sense to you? And then there are times where you just follow your nose. Now, often my nose takes me to the nearest pub, so that can, like, other people can have special ways of doing it. A certain doggedness as well. And there are times when it's possible the BBC management might not have thought that I'm the most wonderful person who works for them. That is also true. So you can cause a little bit of trouble with your bosses as well, because you're saying, no, I don't agree with you. I think this is a story. Never give up. Never give up. If some boss says, no, I'm not doing that, then change the boss, or put it up to somebody else, find out how it works, and keep on going, and keep on going, and keep on going. And eventually, I think, if you're right, then the story will get out. My Auntie Sylv, who's passed on now, but she once said, talent will out. And I think that's true. If you believe in yourself, if you've got a good story, get it out there. There is lots of rubbish, lots of crap. The good thing every now and then is that you can supply a voice to the voiceless, people who you're telling stories on behalf of, or telling the stories of people who have somehow been wronged. And for me, the most satisfying stories are those stories powerful people do not want told. Mr. Putin, John Sweeney from the BBC. I'd like to ask you a question about the war, sir. I'm sorry, sir, the killings in the Ukraine. Thousands of dead. Ukrainians, Russians, Malaysians, British, Dutch. So, sir, do you regret the killings in the Ukraine? So somebody like the North Korean government, or IS, or the Russian government, or the Chinese government, or big corporations, mining corporations in Africa or in South America, they say to people, you shut up, we don't want to hear about this, you shut up. And that is probably the only thing that gets me out of bed, or in the morning, or out of the pub in the evening. The most important thing I have to do is, some people think of me as a beast in the cage. This is in part because of my disgraceful behaviour with the Church of Scientology, where I lost my temper.
You were not there at the beginning of that interview!
So what I've got to do is make sure that when I sort of go for somebody, that there really is a story there, that I'm not, that I don't end up exposing a perfectly nice old lady or a very good charity or NGO like Oxfam. That would be wrong and stupid and a waste of time and effort. So making sure that the story is real and sound, that takes a lot of work, a lot of homework, and you want to know all the detail, because the devil of this lies in the detail. You can get things wrong, you can get into trouble. I'm often in hot water. That's not a bad thing. Hot water keeps you clean. If you're good, you do get clobbered every now and then, and part of the game is taking that kind of in good heart, and some of the time it's unfair and you just have to deal with it. It's annoying. I was monstered on lots of continents when I lost my temper with the Church of Scientology. It was, when people saw the film, it was okay, because people realised just how much pressure I'm being put under. So, though I don't advise anybody out there to go around screaming at the Archbishop of Canterbury or the Pope or something like that, that would be wrong. You should better ask that question to somebody else. My gut feeling about journalism colleges, schools, is they're bollocks. I would say that because I had my probation extended after my report from, I think it was Sheffield Further Education College, where I did journalism, a 12-week course, and I had such an appalling write-up, and I almost lost my job on the Sheffield Telegraph because of it. So I'm probably bad to teach. Now, that might be wrong and old-fashioned, but I think the best thing you want to do is doing it. The problem is that you now have to do a year's course, I think, to get a chance of getting a job. It's much more difficult than it used to be. But I'm sceptical, because I think it's a craft that you learn rather than a university course that can be taught. I'm a bit sceptical of that. All of us start in often rubbish places. It's okay, because you shouldn't forget that what you're here to do is to tell honest news, stories powerful people don't want told. And then eventually some opportunity will open itself and you go for that opportunity. At the same time, one should behave as far as you can, respectfully of other people, other journalists, and you should be careful. You don't tell stories at all costs, because you're still a human being and you should still behave in a proper way. But at the same time, I can remember when I doorstepped Vladimir Putin in Siberia and asked him about the killings in the Ukraine. That felt a good moment. When the BBC said, go and do this film about the refugees, which became The Long Road, we want you to do Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat. I said, great. What the fuck is Snapchat? You'll have to edit that. I said, what on earth is Snapchat? And I learnt, somebody else came along with me and told me all that stuff. I think I'm a digital diplodocus, and I find it hard to work out all this stuff. Nevertheless, you should always have an open mind and open your mind to new stuff. And I'm happy to tell stories on any platform that's going. And if there's a certain novelty value about a platform, say Snapchat, that will bring more people or a different audience or a younger audience, that's all great. But essentially, I believe in telling stories. And that's the most important thing. And to be honest with you, I don't care. I mean, I like telly because telly's powerful in a documentary form. Radio can be wonderful too as well. But the essential thing here is the power of the story. Is this a story worth telling? Has there been a great injustice? Is there something dark happening in the world which you can shine a light on? Those are the things that get me going, not the platform and the way you tell it. To be a good investigative journalist, you need to have, I would say, and I might be wrong, the following: doggedness, a capacity to drink everyone you meet, including Russian police officers, under the table, and a sense of humour.